Hello everybody, I thought I'd make a follow-up video to my experience this weekend at the Democratic State Convention of Nevada, and this video is just going to highlight some of the counter-arguments I have to what the current media narrative is. The media narrative that's going around is that the Bernie people caused an incredible amount of chaos at the convention, that the Bernie people were wholly unruly, unreasonable, Bernie people threw chairs. And, I've read some articles saying that the Hillary people were, calm, rationed, reasoned, followed the rules, and Bernie people just went buck wild. I'll explain some further details to support my previous account. The Bernie people were highly organized. So we were not chaotic. There were a bunch of Bernie Sanders people wearing these tie-dye kind of blue-green shirts all over the Bernie Sanders side of the convention. They had these two wristbands, a red one and a green one, and they were supposed to kind of give orders to the Bernie people and tell us how they recommend we vote on certain events. That was done maybe twice in the whole convention. But they told us from the beginning, the first thing we're going to try to do is pass a motion to see if people will change the rules. And that was the very first thing we did in the convention. Try to change the rules. Roberta Lang shut us down and refused to hear us. So right from the beginning, Roberta Lang ignored our organization, frustrated us so much that some of the hardcore people, especially at the front of our crowd, charged the stage. And as they charged the stage, all of our, kind of lieutenants in the green tie-dye shirts, they walked up and down the rows and, encouraged us to continue to be loud, to continue to protest, to stall the convention until we got our voices heard, which never really happened. I do even remember after a couple hours of the convention, things were slowing down, nothing was happening. I went over and had a conversation with one of those tie-dye shirt guys, and I was like, hey man, what's up? Why aren't we being heard? Why is the convention totally ignoring us? And that guy was even more disappointed than I was. He even talked to me straight up right there. He's like, dude, I have given up hope in the democratic process. We got really organized. We were all about making change right from the beginning, and we get shut up, and we're all discouraged. I also remember when I was walking out of the convention, I saw another one of those Bernie lieutenant people in open tears, sitting down on the floor of the Paris Boulevard, crying their eyes out. And other people were consoling her, and I told her to keep her chin up, but, man, we came in there with a mission, and we just got rejected straight from the beginning, so it really, really frustrated us. Then, another thing is the words have been thrown around a lot that chairs were thrown at the convention. I can wholeheartedly say I did not see any chairs fly around. But I can admit this. A lot of Bernie people are saying no chairs were involved in any way. I'm a hardcore Bernie person, and I did see this right at the end when Roberta Lang closed the convention in, that 30-second window, pounded the gavel, threw it away. In my row, or maybe two rows above me, there was this one guy with kind of a cut-off armless shirt. He picked up the chair at the end of the aisle, put it over his head, and was kind of charging to the front of the convention. And, I'm almost 100% sure he intended to throw that chair at Roberta Lang. And, I was filled with the anger and the rage too. What, you can't just close this convention, that's insane. But as he was kind of running up, there was already a bigger crowd in front of him. Some other guy, I'm pretty sure another Bernie guy, kind of intercepted him and was like, dude, don't throw the chair, put it down. And as this sleeveless shirt guy was putting the chair down, one of the legs hit a guy with an orange shirt on, who was also a Bernie guy. The orange shirt guy fell over, and I could see the strapless chair guy, he kind of put the chair to the side and then immediately helped the orange shirt guy back up. So all that violence about throwing chairs, I'm pretty sure that's the only scenario where violence could even be attributed to chair throwing. But, maybe on Roberta Lang's way out, she kind of glanced back and saw some, dude with a chair running at her, so she rightfully was afraid of chair throwing, but none actually occurred. Yet that's the general major theme in the media, which really, really frustrates me. And I also just watched this news report on, I think, MSNBC, where Roberta Lang was being interviewed, and she's painting herself as this super victim. Well, I mean, look, it is kind of screwed up. There are some hardcore Bernie people, a lot more hardcore than me, who are calling up Roberta Lang. She has over, 1,000 voicemails on her phone. Some of them are death threats. Bernie people are posting her place of work, her home address, her kids' addresses, her grandchild's, where her grandkid goes to school. That stuff is way, way, way bad. I am no way condoning that, but I can see the frustration. This is not the way to take it out. No Bernie supporter, do not harass this woman's family. That is crossing the line. But I can agree that demanding her resignation and doing everything in our power in the democratic process is the way to do it. But look, I've already resolved to quit the Democratic Party, and I think the better thing to do is just, go vote for a third-party candidate. Or, I mean, this is hard for me to say as a history teacher. Don't vote at all, because I can't let Roberta Lang win. I can't let her win. She is on the top of my people that make me eternally frustrated list. And I'm also just so mad that the media painted our event as but it's kind of true. We did get crazy. We did have the spark for violence, but you got to understand why. It's because for 18 hours, we didn't get heard. For 18 hours, we were protesting, going through the books. Bernie's attorneys were involved. I saw a video by one of Bernie's attorneys who was there at the Nevada State Convention. He said, no one heard us. And the frustration grew and grew and grew and grew. It's ridiculous. I also saw one thing on the internet saying that police were called to shut the event down because we were so violent. That is not true at all. The event was supposed to end at 9:30, but as I mentioned in the previous video, starting from 7 p.m. on to 10 p.m., the stage was empty. Nothing was happening. And all the Bernie people were talking. We weren't in a crazy riot protest. We were sitting in the chairs. I was talking to this dude, Adam, most of that time. And it was just, we were just waiting for something to happen. I'm sure just in the back room, Roberta Lang was talking to the other delegates saying, oh, I hope all those Bernie people just leave. They slowed down the convention at the end. Had nothing to do with our fault. It frustrates me so much. So yeah, the police were called at 10:30, 11, so significantly after the convention was supposed to close. The police were not called because of violence. They were called because, the Paris casino, we ran out of time. And actually, the guy who got on the mic at the end, he wasn't a police chief. He said, I am the director of security at the Paris Hotel. You guys have overstayed your time. Everyone please leave, or you'll all get arrested for a misdemeanor offense. The police were not called to halt our violence. Yeah, they were just called to make sure we left in an orderly fashion. And for the most part, I understand we did. But anyway, yeah, a part of me doesn't want to go too far down this road. I've already been approached by a lot of people on Facebook and otherwise about continuing the fight and supporting everything against Roberta Lang. I do, but I just feel like I don't have the energy. I feel like doing anything inside the Democratic Party process is just going to cause us to lose. It's hard for me to admit it, but the establishment's won, and it breaks my heart, but I predict equal things going on in Philadelphia. And I love Bernie, I love the message, and I wish it could happen, but I fought the battle and I lost, and I'm a very discouraged person because of it. So, anyway, I hope things get better. Peace out.